Starting recording. Let's see if it crashes this time. Does that a lot. And then because this is a portal queue, we have this little starting area that is not part of the level I made. So this is just an entrance, not much of an actual puzzle. Just sort of showing you these are turrets. This level, the 3 levels I made are assuming you've never seen turrets. This is what they look like. All that good stuff. And they don't really do anything. I suppose you could play around and shoot portals in there, but just to introduce you to the core theme of the levels. Alright, now to start and do actual stuff. Again, this is assuming that you've done some amount of tutorials in Portal, so you're aware of things like cubes and buttons and lasers and all that. Only thing it's assuming you haven't really seen much of is turrets, so sort of serves as a intro to those. Anyways, here's a thing. You don't want to walk out there because there's a turret there. We can go get a closer look at the exit, but can't actually do anything with it over here. And we can see that the exit is connected to over there, actually, which is a laser receptacle. And there's also some sort of button or something up here we need to get to. Looks like we can't fling ourselves over there, so we're going to have to look around. And eventually you'll notice up here that we can portal up over this way. And there's really only a cube and a faith plate up here and nothing else to do, so might as well just kind of jump over here. And then there's a cube receptacle thing over here that we can place down. Now if you hadn't taken the cube with you, we can just jump back over and you would be able to see the cube through the glass here, see the receptacle, make the connection like, oh, I was supposed to grab that. So now we can see if we jump down here, we'll just get shot. But it has turned on a laser over here. We can see that we need a laser to hit this receptacle. And there was a dropper we could see up over here from the bottom, so let's try to figure out how to get up there. If I just try to, like, bounce over there, I won't quite make it. So, you'd think of an alternative route. So we can do something where if we drop up from up here, shoot a portal over there, jump over here, can use this faith plate to rocket ourselves over and grab this. Now we need to get it over to that laser, so logical thing is to just take it over. Now if you did lose it, you can just keep going back up there. And now this, you're probably going to realize like, oh, I can grab it and try to move it over, and in doing so, you'll actually destroy that turret. Sort of passively teach the player that lasers can destroy turrets. There is technically a chance that instead of destroying that turret, you'll just grab this and try to come from this side. Turret will still be okay, but you can still portal over here. Didn't really figure out a way to 100% guarantee the player will destroy the turret. If you have any ideas on how to do that, let me know. There are a few ways I could finagle it, but they just didn't really seem natural. So, I thought that was good enough, went with that. Alright, so this is the last part of this little chamber sequence I made. If it ends up being too short, I can add more stuff, but it seemed like a good starting point. So here we see another turret. We can see through some glass here. If I walk up here, he gets angry. But I can sort of see there's an exit over there. But if I run for it, I'm going to get shot and like pushed back into this. But there is some white surface behind him, and one right here, so really our only option. And I can just kind of shove our little friend here. Almost get shot. Pick him up, throw him in there. Also have my E key not work for a bit there. Alright, come over to here, see another portal surface, we see some sort of dropper, and we see that coming over here is going to get us shot, so we can't just make a run for it. But there's a rather obvious portal right here. only other place we can shoot one. And we can drop right down onto our friend, just kick him in the face. And we're in another situation where now we can see a cube up here. Go explore where this light's coming from. Probably want to go that way. But if I just go around this corner, I'm going to get shot. So, looking around, looks like there's a hole in the wall up here. So I just kind of shoot randomly into there. I'm going to hit a portal. And get stuck on a turret. And I can walk over to here. Jump down. Follow the light. And follow the light again. And if I just go over here and check what's out, I need a cube. So can't do anything around here quite yet. But I do remember there was a cube dropper right there. Little elevator here. Optional to take those guys out if you really want to. Can hit them with the cube. For all that fun. So now we got the cube. I can go over and put it here, as you should already know how to do. And that's going to give you the goo. Now, generally the goo in a lot of Portal games, well, I guess Portal 2 comes later than learning a lot of the other basics, so I used this in such a way that even if you hadn't seen the goo before, you can kind of figure out what it's going to do. If you go, like, walk up and sort of try to interact, click and jump on it, you'll see this. Obviously, you don't want to keep bouncing like I am, because you'll die. Don't do that. For the purposes of this run-through, probably shouldn't have bothered killing myself, but now we can see, once you know what you're doing, this is actually a very short level. Almost didn't even kill him. So, it's pretty basic. There's not a whole lot to figure out in this sort of thing. And if I don't go ahead and kill myself this next part, then it won't take very long. So we can put that down. It'll open this up. Obviously, jumping will just get you killed. And if you do actually hit shift, you won't keep bouncing, so you will survive. And not just keep getting shot like I did, but I actually forgot to hit shift. And really, there's only a few portal surfaces. You can just kind of experiment, shoot it around. Obviously, the glass block's there. I can't shoot on these, so it really only leaves me to shoot around here. And if you do that enough, you'll actually notice, oh, you can bounce turrets away and kill them. Now that the turrets are gone, I'm safe to kind of jump and get shot by that one dude that's just really having a time. And we're over here. Can't quite make this jump, so that means we have to go back to our good old portal intuition. I can probably jump from higher up. So maybe, say, bounce down onto here. And this is going to be sort of an awkward jump, to be honest. But so are a lot of the jumps that you actually use in Portal 2 with the blue goo. In future iterations, I'll probably play around with changing the ceiling height so that this doesn't happen the way it is currently. Technically, what you end up sort of having to do is wait for the second bounce, which I'd keep not doing here. In fact, probably what I'll do right after this recording is finished for the levels that you'll be able to pull from my courses, I'll just fix this ceiling thing. Because I've never had this much issue with it actually before. It wasn't an issue in testing up until this point. But I probably won't go and record all the sound over again. I'll just fix this. Actually, one thing I will do, just for the purposes of this, is not that. No one ever said I was good at Portal. Only beaten it 8 times. Alright. So probably want to just make sure you have as much space to work with as possible over there. Yeah, I mean, if you do that, it makes it a lot easier. Still probably going to raise the ceiling and work on that a bit. So this drops a cube over here. We can just place. Now, technically, this doesn't actually add anything to the puzzle, but we pretty much solved it at this point with that last little bit, so there's just sort of reward to the players since I can't just hand them cake. But technically, all the puzzle solving was done with that last little goobit. And then here is just fun little play around with these. Now, if somebody does have motion sickness, I don't know, since I don't have motion sickness, that if this will bother them. So that'll be another thing to look for in testing. And that brings us to the end of the level. So that is pretty much it. Obviously, I'll need to fix that little ceiling bit and do a bit more testing to see if there's enough content. But I think it's a pretty good start to work off of.